Welcome. Good morning. I am Annette Sanderson. I am the Executive Director of the Hartford Housing Authority, and I am so happy to be here today, and I'm so happy that we're here on this wonderful, historic day. I'm honored to have all of you here today. We are so very proud to be joined by Governor Malloy, Mayor Bronin, Senator Doug McCrory, Jennifer Gottlieb from HUD, and our partner, our development partner, Overlook Village Redevelopment Associates, and the former residents of Bowles Park, in hosting this groundbreaking for the new Willow Creek development. This project, a mixed-income residential community, is the long overdue redevelopment of Chester A. Bowles Park, a public housing complex which was constructed in the 1950s. As many of you know, this has not been an easy journey. It has been full of many twists and turns. In the end, many people came together to make this historic project a reality. This project is the result of a true community collaboration. First and foremost, I would like to thank the residents of Bowles Park for their patience, perseverance, and input. Mrs. Price, I told you we'd get here. We promised you we'd get you here. I'd also like to thank the authority's Board of Commissioners and all of the public and private entities that have come together to help us transform this property into the type of residential space that our residents and the community deserve. The Willow Creek project furthers the Housing Authority's mission to provide safe, accessible, and affordable, high-quality housing and home ownership choices in the city of Hartford. These new homes don't just benefit the families who live in them. This rehabilitation will have a positive impact in the north end of Hartford for generations to come. Now I have the pleasure of introducing our partner in this project. Mr. John H. McClutchy Jr. is a founder and managing member of the JHM Group of companies. JHM is leading the redevelopment team of Overlook Village Redevelopment Associates, which is a partnership comprised of the following entities: the Richmond Group, JHM Financial, Nutmeg Planners, and Imagineers. John, thank you.
Thank you, Annette. As Annette said, this is an exciting development, certainly for our company. I have and her team for all that they've done and making sure that we are in a position to be funding partners with so many units of housing. But I am dismayed on a national basis on the attack of housing which is going on in Washington. And quite frankly, dismayed at the attack on housing that's going on in Connecticut. As we sit here celebrating this rebirth and the creation of these units and the opportunities that they will present to Hartford as a whole, to the people who live there, we're also living in a state that I just had to veto a budget that would have done away with the very housing department that I now explain to you is responsible for creating 22,000 units of housing. It doesn't make sense. People need to understand that our great urban environments need replacement housing, need housing where people can live and work and raise their families and live in the communities that they want to live in and access jobs that will follow that housing as well. That's what we have to be about in the state of Connecticut. That's what I've striven to be about in the 6.5, 7 years that I've been governor, and quite frankly for years before that when I was mayor of the city of Stamford. Now let's just talk about some other things that are interconnected. We've got to do a better job in educating our children. We have to do a better job in making sure our communities are safe and safer. But if you think about jobs, you think about education, you think about quality education, you think about quality housing, all of that works together. That's how we make stronger and better communities. That's how we treat our fellow citizens to a better degree than we have in the past. This is an overall effort to make sure that our urban environments can be as strong as they once were, and quite frankly, stronger in the future. So it's great to be with you. Congratulations to everyone, including the residents who had to bear with such great fortitude to get to this day, and the Housing Authority itself, and all of the architects, builders, and developers who were responsible for this. And thank you to the legislature that's allowed me to fund these programs, and also to the City of Hartford, represented by its mayor, who's with us today. Have a great day. Next in the program, we have the Mayor Luke Cronin. I've known the mayor for quite a while, and he's always been an advocate for affordable housing. He continues to do so in his position. As difficult as it may be some days in Hartford, he continues to focus on the fact that we need affordable housing and works to support programs such as this.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, John, and thank you, Governor. Governor, thanks for your long-standing commitment to affordable housing in the state of Connecticut, and to the team you've assembled to do it. Commissioner Klein and the team at the Housing Department, the Connecticut Housing Finance Authority, you've been tremendous partners, and we're grateful to you. I want to start by just talking about this private-public partnership that John mentioned. It really is an extraordinary and broad partnership that makes this possible. John and the governor talked about it. It's the state agencies I just talked about. It's the Hartford Housing Authority under the leadership of Annette Sanderson and the board. It is the legislature represented today by our Senator Doug McCrory, who has fought hard for this neighborhood in particular. It is the Capital Region Development Authority, which came together to help close a gap on a project that otherwise might have stopped the project from going forward. And I also want to say thank you to our city's economic development team, Kylie Goslin and Sean Fitzpatrick, who have devoted an enormous amount of time to making sure that we can overcome barriers to moving a project forward like this. And as you heard, it's taken many decades, and we're determined to make progress on projects like this, just like with the Albany Avenue streetscape. There's been so much promise for so long, our priority has to be turning those long-standing promises into action. And that's what you see behind you today. If you'd stood here just a few months ago, what you would have seen were the blighted and decaying remnants of the housing project built in the 1950s. It was once a proud and strong neighborhood development, but the buildings themselves were way out of date. And the residents deserved new, high-quality, affordable housing opportunities, both for rent and for purchase. And to see these buildings going up behind us in place of those blighted, decaying buildings is an inspiring thing. I also just want to say a little bit about what this means for our Blue Hills neighborhood as a whole. This is just one piece of the puzzle. But the Blue Hills neighborhood is a strong, home-owning neighborhood where many residents have owned their homes for decades and decades. It is an anchor in our north end of Hartford. And this redevelopment, which will replace those blighted buildings with beautiful new affordable housing opportunities, isn't standalone. Just across those trees behind us, there's work underway to build a new Weaver High School. Just across the street, you see Cronin Park, where Senator McCrory fought hard to get the fields upgraded and the lights installed. And just down the road, as I said before, there's a long-awaited Albany Avenue streetscape project to make that important commercial corridor a business-friendly and more attractive place where our small businesses can thrive. So all of those pieces come together, along with great organizations like the Boys and Girls Club, which we're standing next to here. The Boys and Girls Club, which was focused on renovating and bringing back to life this historic club. So if you think about this project in the context of all of that, I hope you see how significant it is. It's a critical piece of strengthening a critical neighborhood in the city of Hartford. And for all the residents of Blue Hills who've been so patient as this came to fruition, I want to say thank you. So again, Governor, to all the team who helped make this possible, and to everybody who is here today supporting in so many different ways and so many different perspectives, thank you for everything that you're doing. It's teamwork like this that's going to make our city strong.
As I said earlier, this is a true public-private partnership. And as I said, the city has an investment here. The state of Connecticut has an investment through DECD, Department of Housing, CHFA. But all of this comes together because of the private sector funds in the long term. And Bank of America is our financial partner in this development. Bank of America is a well-known entity in terms of developing affordable housing in this country. They continue to be strong advocates of affordable housing, and they back that up by the financing commitments that they make. I'd like to introduce Dory Conlon from Bank of America. Oh, there you are. Right.
Hi, it's very, very nice to be here with all of you. This is a beautiful development. We've looked at all the plans and everything. I think you're going to be so excited to see the final results. This one is a true private-public partnership, and we're happy to be here in Hartford. We're happy to work with the state and city, and certainly JHM, Richmond, Imagineers, and Arthur Anderson. We're particularly happy to be in this neighborhood. We've done a lot of work in Hartford, but I think this spot is particularly nice, with the park and everything right nearby. So congratulations, and we hope to be around for some time.
And again, in terms of our public partners, our state legislature has been instrumental in providing the funds that have allowed us to go forward with this. And today I'd like to have Senator Doug McGrory come up and speak. Oh.
How y'all doing? Everybody look happy. Well, first I want to welcome you to my neighborhood. This is the area where I grew up. The Boys and Girls Club is the place I spend a whole lot of time after school. From second grade all the way to 8th grade. This development, Bowes Park, means a lot to me because both of my sisters lived out here for a number of years. I grew up between Bowes Park and Westbrook. Great neighborhood. And yes, it's about time that we finally bring a new set of housing to Bowes Park. Now, you guys might call it Willow Creek, but if you're from Hartford, this is always going to be Bowes Park to us. I want to thank the governor for his efforts to understand the need for affordable housing in the state of Connecticut. I want to thank Nettie. We're informal here because this is us. This is what it's about. For all her work and efforts, and all the developers and the partners to help put this together. I'll just say briefly because it's getting cold out here. City of Hartford, we understand the need for affordable housing, but unfortunately, it's not like that throughout our whole state. In some places, they don't want affordable housing. Unfortunately, they don't understand the value of mixed income and diversity and giving people opportunities for a better life and not have your life depend on the zip code you grow up in. But here today, it's going to be anew. We're going to do this one. We're going to do the other one down the street. And when you guys come back in another few years, you're going to see a whole new North End of Hartford. Thank you very much, and thanks for coming out.
And again, to remind us of the public partners we have, the first money into this project actually came from the Department of Economic and Community Development. I'd like to have Tim Sullivan come up and say a word or two.
Thanks, John. I'll be really brief. I'll just note that this was a part of a portfolio of investments that Governor Malloy has made in brownfield redevelopment all throughout the state. More than $210 million under Governor Malloy's leadership invested in redevelopments and environmental cleanups and projects just like this to bring new housing, new mixed income, new mixed use developments to communities all throughout not just
Hartford, but all throughout the state. So we're proud to have played a small part in this and excited for what we're going to see here and look forward to being back for the grand opening.
Thank you. And of course, as the governor mentioned, the federal government is involved in many levels in all of this housing. And today we have with us Jennifer Gottlieb from Department of Housing and Urban Development. And I'd like to have Jennifer come up and say a word.
Good morning to everyone. I'm sorry, excuse my hair in the wind. I'm happy to be here on behalf of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development's Hartford Field Office that's tasked to execute the department's mission in the state of Connecticut. HUD is pleased to be able to contribute to this new development, what it offers to the residents in the city itself through the Hartford Housing Authority's use of HUD funding in both providing ongoing rental subsidy to 52 families that had been living at the former development, and those are known as relocation vouchers, and also to 30 ongoing project-based subsidies in the new development that are known as project-based vouchers. So the 30 project-based units of the development will be available to low and very low income families due to the HUD investment, while integrating these deeply affordable units into the mixed income development. By being so close to the school, the children will be able to take advantage of the school activities, mentoring and recreation in walking distance where a car is not required. HUD believes that urban communities are really the greatest potential as areas of opportunity, both for the people that live in the urban communities and for the planet as a whole. This is because the urban living reduces emissions and promotes habitat preservation in rural and suburban areas. So by rebuilding the aged public housing stock, both the federal and state government take advantage of the leadership opportunity we have by raising the bar on the quality of urban housing stock itself. We also create incentives for private owners to invest more in the housing they own here. When competition is created and improved, good neighborhoods become the norm, and private owners will have to live up to that to attract the best tenants here. So I want to thank our partners, Annette Sanderson, the Executive Director of the Hartford Housing Authority, and the Chairperson, Marilyn Rossetti, of the board, as well as the entire board, Mayor Bronin, Governor Malloy, the staff, and all the partners within the state agencies that have contributed here. Thank you so much.
Next we have the real purpose for this whole development, and that's for the people who have lived in Bowles Park, the people who are now going to occupy Willow Creek. And I can't say enough for the people of Bowles Park and the way they worked with us. It's always a difficult situation when you come in and tell someone you're going to move them out of their home and you're going to demolish that home and replace it with something better. I hope we've proven that we are doing just that, and I look forward to seeing everybody move back in here. One of those people instrumental in leadership here is Ms. Price. I'd like to have her come up and say a word.
Thank you all for coming. I lived in Bowles Park for 30 years, and I was the president of the Tenants Association for 10 years. We started back in 1999
right before we get to the actual groundbreaking, we need to acknowledge one more time our partner here, the Hartford Housing Authority. Mr. Price just exemplified the reason why we all do what we do. I've been doing this for 50 years, and I do this because people need to have quality, affordable housing. It changes people's lives, it changes communities, it changes this country all in a better way. And one of the people that's been an advocate for this as long as I've known her, which is going on 30 plus years, she doesn't want me to say that, but it has been, is Marilyn Rossetti, who's now chairman of the Housing Authority.
I don't know how it's 30 years, I'm like 29. This has been a long day coming, but it's so exciting. I'm so excited to see this behind me, be able to sit next to you, Mrs. Price. Thank you so very, very much. I have just quick things to say because, as our senator said, it's between me and the end. I know Alan Green is looking down today and smiling, and his spirit is with us. He wanted this to happen so much. And also, you know, John Wardlaw, God bless him. So really, I couldn't, think about those men without mentioning that. I want to talk about Annette Sanderson. Without her leadership, really, I always say I'm the yin to her yang, but it is a great partnership, and I'm so valued to be able to do this work. And some of her team, Tim Safone, Ben Baer, Barbara McGrath, and Jason Valentine, really thank you so very much. And the property management, skilled trades, and maintenance team. You kept this going when it far had outlived its usefulness. There were residents here, and you kept this train running, and we couldn't have done it without you. And then personally for me, as a lifelong Hartford resident and someone who has valued neighborhood development, thank you, Mayor and Governor, for downtown development. We love the housing downtown, but damn it, excuse me, the neighborhoods is where it ends for me. And this really shows what we can do. Every day I work in my paid job. I try to get homeless men into housing, and this is the kind of thing that I love to see happen in neighborhoods, and we're on a roll. There's a lot of outside chatter in the world. We're making stuff happen in Hartford, so thank you. Thank you again for everyone who made it happen, and was that short enough, Doug? Okay, thank you.
It is over 30 years, by the way, I'll remind you. We are going to have official groundbreaking right now, and afterwards we have some sandwiches and beverages if people would like to stay. It's going to move inside because it's getting a little cold outside, so we have the sandwiches. So we're going to move everything inside. Thank you all for coming.
Mr. Price, slide down. Mr. Price. Mr. Price, come on over. You want to sit, Mr. Price? No, right here. You want a shovel?
Everybody get some.
Okay.
Yep. All right, everybody get some on your.
Okay.
Hold it up. We're just going to throw it towards that wood there. Ready on the count? Everyone look up. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. Be a coach. That's what I do. Have the hat. There you go. Good show.